Hiya. You had breakfast already?
Nah, I didn't fancy any.
Come on, I'll make us some toast.
No, honestly, Lizzie, just stick in my throat.
You've got to eat.
I will, later. You have something. I'm happy with tea.
That's happy, is it?
Well, there's one thing about going through a trauma. It certainly keeps you slim.
Yeah, till it makes you ill.
Anyway, I've decided I'm going to ring up about a couple of those flats to rent.
What?
Just to give me a bit of breathing space till I can get Sunliners to give me a transfer.
Come on, Deirdre, you're not serious about this.
Yes, I am. I'm going to see if they'll give me something in London.
London?
Well, I've been near a Tracy.
But you'd hate London.
I hate it round here.
Oh, come on. You can't let John take your whole life away.
He already has, hasn't he? Or at least he will have when people find out what a laughingstock I am.
Your friends won't laugh. They'll be on your side like I am.
It's how I feel, Liz. I do. The way I bragged about him, showed off this house. I must be the most stupid woman in the world.
'Cause you've been lied to by one of the most cunning men.
Yeah. Well, I haven't got the face to live that down. I just haven't.
In you go. Oh, yes. Good girl. And you? You come and work with me today, and you? Just till we find out where your mum is. Yes, you're a good girl. And you? Hey? Come on. Come on.
I had me all evening messed up because of you. Forcing our Toya out babysitting.
I didn't force her. She got 10 quid for it.
Les, that is
I
not...
thought I was doing you a favour.
A favour? Having me dragged over at road to wind a flipping baby?
No. By learning our toys, what I mean. Giving her some experience, like. So she won't take all you looking after her for granted.
You've no flaming idea, you.
Look, just leave us me beer money and get across that road to work.
No way, Jose.
Hey?
I am not subbing you another penny, you lazy ape. Go out and earn your own.
Hiya.
What do you want?
Can I pop in a minute?
Come on, then. Your Zoe ought to know better than leaving her baby in care of a silly kid.
I know. I said I was sorry to her.
Well, where's she to say she's sorry to me, then?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
She didn't come home with me last night.
Eh?
Well, do you know where she's got to?
Well, she must take you for a right pushover, then.
Hi, good morning, Mrs. Roberts.
Hello, Gail, sweetheart.
You're out early?
It's nice to be able to get out instead of being held hostage in your own home.
Cup of tea?
Oh, yes, and you know, I think I've space for a Danish.
I wanted to ask after your poor periwinkle.
I beg your pardon.
Iced or apricot?
Whatever comes, sweetheart.
Because I do assure you that any shrub damage was not caused by us or ever intended.
Oh, really?
As a matter of principle, you see, you must understand that our action was pure political theatre, Mrs. Roberts, entirely devoid of personal malice.
Are you joking? You invade our garden, shouting slogans, blowing your didgeridoo-dah at me, and then you pretend that is not personal assault?
Not now, Mother.
No, actually, I'd like to hear the justification for this, girl.
Well, trees can't protest of their own accord, can they?
Have you never heard of letter writing, Roy, or petitions? I mean, do you have to descend to the level of law-breaking and personal abuse?
Well, to be effective, sadly, sometimes, yes, we do.
Oh.
But I would accuse your husband of the greater abuse of power.
Oh, would you? Well, at least he was elected to represent the local community. Who gave you people the right to interfere?
Well, look, perhaps we must agree an ideological difference here, but it's no reason to colour our personal relationship.
Why don't you try both, Mother?
How would you like it, Roy, if a mob of chanting pig lovers came and put pressure on you because you serve bacon breakfasts?
No, I think fair point, actually. I do seriously have to consider that one. It's very true, I do.
I think I have glimpsed the wild gleam of the zealot, Gail.
Oh, you're a bright little spark, aren't you? Bright as a brass button you are.
Tell it from her eyes, can't you?
Oh, she's all there, despite the way she came into the world.
It's what happens after they're born that matters, though, isn't it?
Hey?
Well, like most babies start off keen and eager, don't they? They just don't get best brought out of them.
No, they don't, Ashley. But I still think some has more in 'em to start with, even so.
Ah, but except we don't know what gets lost, do we? I mean, like Zoe. I don't think it's her talking to me at all sometimes. It's just what other people scare into being.
Well, I think she's cannier than you cotton on to.
I don't know what to think anymore. She didn't come home.
Hey?
From last night. We went to a nightclub. She wouldn't come home with me.
What do you mean?
Well, she left Shannon with Toya, and I was a bit worried for her.
So you had to see to her baby?
She expects she'll be back soon.
Well, pardon me, but that just proves it, doesn't it? It's just what me and your Uncle Fred have said all along. Don't you reckon so?
Well, she was on vodka. She just kept knocking it back.
And you're still prepared to make excuses for her?
Well, I can't believe she wants to do this to her, Maud. She loves Shannon, I know she does.
Funny kind of love, if you ask me.
She just loses it sometimes. She needs looking after herself.
What, when she leaves her little baby to the mercy of strangers? She needs a good shaking, that's what she needs.
Well, I were angry with her last night. That's what I mean. But it's like she wants to round me even worse.
Well, where do you reckon she is now, then?
I don't know.
If this is to grill me about Deirdre again.
Ah, you know, I went to see her yesterday, then.
Look, Ken, I can't tell you any more than she told you herself.
Can't you? Even though you know I care about her.
I gave her my word. I can't go back on that.
Well, that confirms my suspicion, doesn't it? She isn't telling me the whole of it, is she?
Well, maybe you shouldn't keep pressing her to.
Why? Think I'd be a better friend to look the other way? Well, I know what a manipulative liar the man has been. I mean, do you really?
I just think she'd be better off without you needling her as well.
Well, fine. I'll mind my own selfish business, then.
Not practicing your blowpipe then, Emily?
One acts according to one's conscience, Audrey.
Oh, does one? Even if it means breaking the laws of trespass?
Sometimes one has to refer to a higher law.
Oh, and does one ever refer oneself to one's family responsibilities? Like not encouraging that silly nephew of yours in his antisocial antics?
Well, I'm sorry if you doubt his commitment.
Yes, I do. Do you know, it seems to me he's just a full-time member of that renter mob lot. I'm just amazed at you going along with him.
I don't always, actually. I find this direct action approach, personally, very uncomfortable, to be honest with you. Extremely so.
Because you know it's basically wrong.
Well, no, basically, I think Geoffrey's absolutely right. If one's fighting a good cause, then one has to put oneself on the line, Audrey. I mean, just as the good Lord himself always did.
Hey, I presume you've kept your diary free for tonight?
Sorry?
Well, Miss Vale, the book launch.
Oh, yes.
Good.
Yeah. Now, I must say, Alec, it strikes me as a bit of an odd event for an escort.
Oh, well, ours is not the reason why, Ken. Just be in the hotel bar about 10 to 7. Yes, that's 2 nights, please.
Oh, cheers.
I'll have the same again, Alec, please.
All right.
If you'll pardon the intrusion.
Any time. I'll get those for her.
No, he won't, Alec.
Just been friendly.
Oh, really? Like you were the other night in my garden?
That was for the trees. We made our point, mission complete.
Oh, you think so, do you? Well, if I were you, I wouldn't get too smug.
It chills me to the bone where these young girls nowadays. All the contraceptives that are on offer. You know, they have them in ladies' toilets now.
What?
In machines, help yourself. But they still leave everything to chance, as if having a baby that you can't look after is no different from catching a common cold.
There's some of it think of some kind of achievement, Maud. Status.
Well, I'd not want to go back to the ways that I grew up with. But when there's no shame...
There'd be penal servitude for every feckless young lad if I were Home Secretary. Ah!
Hi, Uncle Fred.
Maud's been apprising me of how 'tis we have a motherless young child here today. So I suggest you get rid of that box and get straight onto telephone to social services, because that young woman is not fit to care for that child, and it's not down to us to do her job for her.
Look, Uncle Fred.
No, you look to me, lad. Me and Maud are in full agreement on this. That Zoe's made a sapskull out of you, and now's the time to say no more.
So you just snap to it, while you still know that you have cause?
I can't put a baby into care.
And why not? 'Cause you don't understand. Zoe loves her. It's just...
Because you don't understand. Zoe loves her. It's just... 'Cause you don't understand. 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 'Cause you Well, something must have happened to her.
Aye. Inebriation be what I've heard.
I'm going to ring round hospitals.
What for? See if she's took herself in for detoxification?
No. In case she's been found dead somewhere.
Look, Ken.
Just 2 minutes, Deirdre, please. Can we, Just want to ask you one question.
What?
And don't think that Liz hasn't tried to warn me off. She has. Made it perfectly clear about not breaking your confidence.
I don't need reassuring about Liz.
No, I just wonder why you're so mistrustful of me.
Is that your question?
Look, Deirdre, I know something really bad has happened to you, and the fact you won't talk about it makes me all the more concerned about what you might do.
Look, Ken,
let
you've
me just say, is John threatening you in some way? Is that why you're so scared to speak out?
No. It's just a bit messy, sorting out the details. Money.
How?
Because I stupidly gave him £5,000 out of my own savings for a deposit on that house.
What?
But I'm getting it back. In fact, I've practically got it. Well, £4,000 of it. I'm drawing out £500 a day on our joint credit card account. By Wednesday, I'll have the rest, and then I'm quits. I'll be shot of him.
So what, then you'll move back to Weatherfield?
Yeah, somewhere.
So, how can I help you?
It's about my credit card account. Here.
Yes?
Well, actually, I've been working out in Singapore these last couple of months, so I was somewhat disturbed to discover these strange debits here.
Strange?
Well, because I've not been using my card since I left the country.
I see.
And nor has it been lost or stolen. It's been exactly where I left it, at home, perfectly safe. So, I mean, apart from the direct debits going out...
And since when is this? That you've been away?
Well, since the 19th of November last. I mean, I only came back to attend a family funeral.
Right.
So I'd like to know what the hell's been going on, please.
Of course.
And some prompt action to sort it all out.
So, you say you haven't personally used your card since...
Well, this item here. Now, all those others are a complete mystery to me.
And you presumably checked with your second card holder
Excuse me?
that she hasn't made these debits?
I don't know what you mean. I don't have a second card holder.
Mrs. Deirdre Rashid.
Who?
Second card issued on the 21st of November 1997. Application form signed by yourself, Ian Jenkins.
I wish you hadn't started on this morning, ma'am.
Well, if Alfie hadn't withdrawn charges, I would have been happy for the law to deal with it, but he did, so he can't now, and I'm left with a grievance.
Yeah, and I'm left with Roy on the subject all day.
Well, they won't be crowing over their little victory for long, because those trees will be firewood by next week.
What do you mean?
I happen to know that the council are going in chip-chop Thursday.
Do you? And you were told this in confidence, I take it?
Yes, but I'm only telling you to reassure you.
Well, I shan't be telling anybody. Least of all, Roy.
Ah, there you are, my lovely. I hoped you might be.
Did you?
Because I miss you, don't I? Especially after a cosy weekend together. Mine's a pint, please, Alec.
Paying for that, are you?
Hey?
What you drinking? Because I'm not.
Cancel that pint, Alec.
Eh?
I've got a nice glass of water waiting for me at home.
What's the matter with him?
Lifelong lazy-itis. That's what.
Hi, Uncle Fred.
Ah! Well, hospitals any help to you, were they?
No. Well, I checked, but they've not had her in.
So what are you still glooming about, then?
Because I'm scared for her, Uncle Fred. What's happened to her?
Oh, give over pothering. I told you. Should have been half seas under and beat yourself up somewhere. Just say what you're drinking.
No. I'll have to get back feet, baby.
And last but by no means least, I'd like to thank my industrious secretary and research assistant, Jean Hatton, for her angelic patience and her ever-attentive brow-soothing, without which I am convinced that the Dales of Arcady would still be a primeval swamp. So thank you. Just to add, should anyone be inclined to buy a copy, I'll be delighted to sign it. Thank you so much.
Well, shall we get in line to buy a signed volume?
No, thanks. I prefer to buy my loo paper in rolls.
Oh, sorry, I presumed you were a fan.
Not me, darling man. I'm just here to have a really good time. Come on. Let's go and find a little Dale of our own, shall we?
Who's it for?
Carol.
You look a right picture of modern manhood, you do.
Well, maybe she's tried phone, but she's forgot number.
So what's directory inquiries for?
She's probably never heard of it. Like plumping cushions, fabric conditioner, filling kettle halfway, just loads of basic stuff she's probably never come across.
Aye. And others, like basic bond between mother and baby, just doesn't give a tinkers for, does she?
You just won't be nasty about her, don't you?
No, our Ashley. I want what's best for you, and that's not seeing you left in lurch minding another man's offspring.
You can take yourself a phone then.
I'm waiting for you to see sense and get onto social services for everybody's sakes. I can't understand why you're being so obstinate.
Well, 'cause I don't think she's deliberately run off. And even if she has, I wouldn't put Shannon into care till I did know.
And for how long would that be?
For as long as it takes.
Ashley!
Why are you trying to make me to be so hard?
Because it's not your responsibility. And why do you fool yourself it is? You owe that girl nowt.
Yes, I do.
What for? When you've been more than charitable, you've offered her shelter and sustenance, and she repays you by bunking off and abandoning her child?
'Cause of how I feel about her. And her about me.
Hey.
Because that's what's happened between us, Uncle Fred.
Hiya. You're a bit late. I was starting to get worried.
Oh, sorry. I went to look at one of them flats.
Oh, yeah.
I know you think I'm being hasty, Liz, but I liked it.
So have you taken it?
Well, I said I'd go into their offices on Wednesday morning, then I'll be sure I've got all my money back out of this place before I give them a deposit.
Well, if that's what you're set on. I'm just worried you'll be giving yourself more scope to brood, living away from your friends.
More scope to be sane, it feels like. Especially after another grilling from Ken.
Ken?
Yeah, he came and quizzed me at work this afternoon.
I saw him in the Rovers this dinner and I told him to stop pestering you.
Well, it's obviously made him more determined. I ended up telling him about me £5,000, which I regret. But you see what I mean? Once I start spilling the beans, it'll be the all ugly heap out and no living it down ever. Oh, not Ken again.
I'll go and I'll say you're out.
Well, see.
It's Alma.
Oh, right.
Hello, Deirdre. I was just passing and...
Sit down, Alma. Have a glass of wine with us.
OK. Oh, now, I was just saying to Liz that I thought you might be glad of a bit of company. Didn't know you'd already got some.
Red or white?
Oh, whatever white, please.
Fine.
Only Emily told me today about you and John splitting up.
Well, news travels, doesn't it?
So it's true, is it?
It's all a bit raw just now, Alma.
Well, it must be when you were so close to getting married.
So that's it for the buffet, I'm afraid.
Oh, God, I'm not just sorry about that.
Well, I'm sorry. I'll pay you for your time.
Oh, no, I wouldn't dream, but I just can't help wondering how a lovely couple like you and John can just suddenly come unstuck like that.
Well, way of this lovely world.
Is that the time? We've got those cinema tickets booked for past.
Oh, right. Yes, of course. I'm sorry, Alma.
It's my fault. I forgot to remind her.
Oh, no, right. Well, look, I'll give you a lift in then, shall I?
So, what about you?
What about me, darling?
What have you ever had the urge to write?
Never. But I do have an overwhelming urge to kiss you.
Ah, yes, well, I'm afraid that's not possible.
OK. You kiss me?
No. What I mean is that the golden years, it's not that sort of agency.
Oh, don't be silly.
No, really. And quite frankly, I'm not that sort of man either.
No, you're exactly my sort of man, darling. You are adorable. Come on, tell me some more about yourself.
Vivian!
Oh, look, it's the acclaimed author.
What the hell are you doing here?
I came to watch you being acclaimed, darling.
And who's he? Another of your casual pickups? Look, excuse me.
This is Ken, darling. He's a writer.
Vivi, you promised you wouldn't do this.
Oh, am I spoiling your little launch party, Bob? Now, I wonder why I go and do that.
Right, I'm calling you a cab. And if you want to continue mauling my wife, I suggest you escort her out to the lobby.
Your wife? But...
Always thought you were a steady sort, Ashley, and I don't mean blockish. I mean not easily thrown off course by a burst of female turbulence.
Well, you can talk, Uncle Fred.
I can indeed, aye. With wisdom of years and scars to prove it, and I'm telling you this. Get a grip, lad. I mean, heavens above. You hardly know this lass from a passing stranger.
Well, it's how I feel. That's what's important to me.
Oh, Ashley. Here. Take this drink from me and taste a drop of maturity, will you? Good gracious. If all I thought I'd equipped you for was to lay your dreams beneath the feet of a wastrel, I swear I'd seriously have to ponder me worth it, world.
Well, you might not agree with my choice, Uncle Fred, but you've got to let me make it for myself.
And what's it amount to? This choice? You playing father to the illegitimate child of a teenage bolter.
Hiya.
Look, I just want to explain.
Don't bother.
No, truly, there's been a total misunderstanding here. I am not trying to seduce your wife. In fact, I didn't even know she was your wife.
Really?
No, I assure you, she told the agency her name was Miss Bale.
Agency? What agency?
The Golden Years Escort Agency. I work for them.
Oh, so she's even stooped to paying for it now, is she?
No, you still don't understand.
Rubbish! Up, you boring bloody books, you two-faced, boring big mouth. It's rubbish. Have you read it? It's rubbish! 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 Idiot man! It's rubbish. Have you read it?
Well, I think we can go home now if you want.
Now, we might as well have a pizza out since we are.
I was going to do as a stir fry.
I thought Alma might have wondered why we got all that chopped veg ready.
Oh, well, at least I distracted her.
Oh, might as well get me next 500 quid out, use this cash point. I didn't have chance earlier. Ah, you did brilliant today, Liz. But you can see what I'm running from, can't you? What?
What's the matter?
It's gobbled me card up.